Okay, we're gonna go like this. We're gonna see what happens. Iron has brought you this tennis ball today. Hello, and welcome to the Once Upon a Corgi Podcast. We are a Crafty Puppy podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. I am your human host, Gabby, and we have the two Corgi hosts, Iron and Audrey, who are trotting around the room today. You can find me everywhere online as Gabagales and all my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi or onceuponacorgi.com. We're back for another week. We're gonna do this. It is Wednesday, January 17th. We're gonna try and keep some order to these things, and it is episode 54, right? Check show notes. Yep, we're on it. There goes the cap. That's what's happening here. Because we are now back to regularly scheduled podcasts. Thanks, Audrey. Instead of announcements in this little bit of a section, I'm going to do some life stuff. Mainly because you might be able to notice my face is still a little bit swollen just on this side. And if I'm now pointing it out to you, you're welcome. I did have my wisdom teeth out last Thursday, so I am still healing from that. But I've been pretty good so far, so I wanted to try and get at least a short episode out and try and keep you guys up to date. So this may not be a lengthy podcast, and there might be some, unbeknownst to you, giant breaks, but if any of the lighting changes, that's why. I'm just giving my face a rest. I still have one stitch in. We're just waiting for that to finish healing and fall out. Also, I'm still on soft boots, in case you were wondering, but you're not. You're here for my knitting and dyeing and spinning. I don't have any spinning. I want to spin so bad. And knitty things after I have some cold coffee. I made a cup for this podcast, and then I forgot about it for about 2 hours. But it's still really good, like an iced coffee, so we're just gonna go with it. Also, my mom got me this mug, and Jake has a matching one that says yours. We're gonna start off with what am I wearing? I am wearing the Snow Day shawl by Mina Phillip in Quince & Co. yarn. I forgot the base and all of the colorway names. One day I will photograph it and put it on Ravelry. I promise. And I am wearing my Anna dress by Hand London, I believe, in some cotton and steel double gauze fabric. So there's my handmade wardrobe for the day. I haven't gone through my wardrobe yet to figure out my percentage, but I'm really close to 75%. Go on. You're good. Keep going. Okay. Right on the cardigan. Oh, we're a little too far over now. Ooh. I haven't finished hemming this dress yet, so it hasn't really moved since I last podcasted. Turns out you can't do a lot when your mouth, it feels like it's trying to rip itself out of your face. Weird, right? That is what I'm wearing, and yes. Okay, events. We have a couple events coming up for February. I know it's only mid-January, but I just want you guys to be prepared. We will be having a trunk show at Cottage Yarns in Mint Hill, North Carolina. We will not be personally there, but our yarn will be there for about a week. So I'm going to put a link to her shop and everything in the show notes, and I'll be giving out more information as we get closer to that date. We are doing a pop-up with Fuse Fiber Studios, a pop-up knit night at her dye studio in Avon, Connecticut. There we go. And I do have a bunch of these postcards out, like ready to give out. I don't know if I'm going to an event between now and then, but I'll share them with everyone I have. So that is super exciting. I'm really excited to just kind of hang out and sit and knit with her and see her studio. And those are the events that are coming up immediately in our future. And I'm gonna try and be really on top of letting you guys know when things are happening this year. We're on it. Right, bud? With that, let's get into the actual knitting. I have no FOs for you this week, although I did try very hard to finish one. So right into whips. We'll go with the first and almost finished whip that I have, which is the Surprise Party Shawl, which is in the middle of a row because somebody didn't finish it last night while watching documentaries. That is neither here nor there. It is the Surprise Party Shawl by Helen Stewart. And this came out during Indie Untangled this year at Rhinebeck. And this is out of Hue Loco yarn in the Rose Hip colorway. And then the minis are her Outlander Color Riot mini set. We are so close to being done. I'm in the last pattern section of the red, and then it's just garter and the bind off. So we're so close. We're like 5 or 6 rows away, but they are very long rows, so it is taking us a while. And I'm just very excited to get this done. It is filling the jewel-toned hole in my heart that I've created that this needs to fill. I don't know how to show this to you properly because it's so tiny on these needles. This should be done within the next couple of days. I'm hoping to get it finished so I can block it this weekend. It is Wednesday already. We shall see. And I'm knitting this on size 4mm 6 Knitter's Pride Novas, interchangeables. Ooh, get this back in the bag. Yeah, well now you lost your tennis ball. I have 2 of them. The next project that I've really been working on, not that it's anywhere close to being done, I just wanted to get it past, ooh, I wish you see the bag. The complicated I have to pay attention parts is my assistant to the regional manager socks. And these are pair number 1 for Jake for this year. My goal is to knit him 6 pairs of socks, get him a nice little crate of socks going. And this is, sorry, I'm completely blanking on the name. Eat, Sleep, Dye, Knit, Sleep, Dye yarns. These are the assistant to the regional manager socks, and the heel is a mini that came with the yarn called Beats. So I did a 3x1 rib for the top. I just like the way it looks. It looks so much neater like that. It's just a plain stockinette sock. I'm hoping the leg is long enough for him. I think now that I have the heel done, I'm gonna have him try it on just to make sure. That way if he does want it a lot longer, I can rip back now and I'm not halfway done with the foot and find out that he doesn't think they're tall enough. So this is now going to be my mindless hanging out with people socks because it's 1 at a time, it's just vanilla, and it's going to be going forever because he has giant man feet. And it is living in my cloud bag that Becky made me. The last project that has been getting a lot of love, I have not knit a lot in the past week or so. I couldn't knit for about 3 days, so that kind of killed it for me a little bit, but that's fine. We still got some knitting done. This is the Zion sweater, and I am knitting it out of Two Guys Yarn Company and Bull and Vine Yarns, and I did some, last time I showed you, I think I just had the fig bash down, and now I'm on the body, which is in guacamole. And I'm using my little Fox Progress Keeper. I don't know if he'll turn around for you. There he is. So it is going. It is just mindless knitting and purling for the next probably 10 inches, 11 inches maybe. Sometimes you just need like a super mindless but not so mindless knit, if you know what I mean. There's really not much to say about that. I'm still chugging along. It's still in my Matterroot bag, which I adore. And it just sits next to me on the couch, so whenever I don't know what to knit on, I'll just put a couple rows in that. I am hoping to kind of get going with it a little bit quicker. I would like to be onto the lace by the end of the month, at least. Not finished with the sweater by the end of the month. Let's not get crazy here. But I would like to get kind of a move on this because I have started writing down all of my knitting plans for the year and finalizing that list. Like, I'm not going to change it in like 2 weeks when somebody releases a new sweater pattern, but I keep forgetting it's on the needles. So I'd like to get it off the needles sooner rather than later. And that's all I've been working on. Again, it's going to be a shorter episode. I did not get a lot of knitting done. Thursday was mostly sleeping and complaining. Friday was a lot of sleeping and more complaining. Saturday was mostly pacing and trying not to complain, and then some knitting. And Sunday, I didn't really get anything done. Sunday, I edited some photos, which you can do one-handed pretty well. And then Monday we went right back into work. So most of the knitting that we've gotten done this week we did Sunday night, Monday, and yesterday at knit group. I haven't sat down to sew, but I do really want to work on a couple patterns that I bought during a Black Friday deal. They're all the way over there. I'll show you when I start on them next week, I promise. I do want to finish this dress because I do want to wear it. I think I want to wear it tomorrow, so I'm going to try and finish it tonight. Ooh. I do have some things I need to sew up for Jake. I just need to fix some pants for him. Nothing big. But that's really been all my crafting. It's going to be a very light episode. It's been a very light crafting week. It's been a lot of binge watching, which was fun, but at the same time, I don't know how non-knitters do it. What do you do while you're binge watching things? I just don't know. We watched half The Office. I watched almost all of Arrested Development. We watched the whole series of Beastmaster. We started watching something else. I've watched, I want to say, a season and a half of Forensic Files, and that's a lot per season. It was just it was a lot rougher than I thought it was going to be crafting wise. I figured I was going to have like a week of just knitting and being a little drugged up from the wisdom tooth extraction, but no, that did not happen at all. Oh, maybe I should have planned this better so then I could have showed you what I wanted to knit this year next time. Maybe that's what we'll do next week. But because that is all the crafting we've been doing, and I just told you about, I'll talk about my bullet journal, and then I'll go into shop update. So I sort of introduced the bullet journal last week, not yesterday. Here she is again. And I've made some modifications. I did mention how I hated doing weekly layouts, and somebody pointed me back to like the original bullet journaling thing, so I did a little bit of research and kind of read up on it more, and how it started off as not a planner but just like keeping all your ideas in the same spot. So I started doing that. So instead of a weekly layout, my plan eventually is to just have like the little monthly calendar here so I kind of know where I am during the week. I don't know, something else, I have to figure it out. But yeah, so I went back through my key and redid it, so I have like to-do lists. So like my to-dos are all dots. Little arrows are things that I've scheduled. Filled in dots I've done. Have a section for what I want to dye that week, what bases I'm gonna do, appointments, and then highlight work things in red, personal things in green, and then like things I need to order for the shop, and kind of go from there. I'm liking it a lot better because then I'm realizing I haven't done anything on my to-do list in the past week. Oh no, I did that. I can color that in. But it's much more manageable, and I don't feel like I've wasted a day if I put even like 3 things on a to-do list and then I change my mind and do 3 other things that were still on my list, just not on the list for that day. I feel like I'm getting more done. So I really like it. We're gonna go with it. And I did start prepping for February, just the monthly calendar and things like that. I want to start doing weekly knitting focusing, so like what projects I want to focus on that week, or sewing, kind of just to keep track of like what I'm almost done with, what I need to finish, if I set deadlines or need gifts or anything. So I'm opening up to this a lot more. And I did fill in my knitting goals, so I put in 5 sweaters, I put in 2 shawls, 1 pair of socks. The socks I'm not too worried about. I mean, there is the Sock Society and both of Mina's sock collections, so I have a feeling I'm going to be really good on sock patterns. I think the Clark socks are the only one. The Clark socks and the Spellbound socks are the only ones coming into 2018 that I wanted to knit that I didn't have like anything set aside for. So And I did do my sewing goals, so I filled all those in. I don't know if I'm gonna fully check in them because I do have a feeling I'm gonna sew more Betty dresses, but who knows? Maybe I'll just like shade it in. So that is going. I am definitely warming up to this more. I need to figure out, that's really it. I just need to start planning February and then debating whether if I want to start setting up the like March and April and May in here. I don't know. We'll see. All right, since that is all for the crafty things, I'm going to round this podcast off with the shop update section. So if you were not here for that, thank you so much for watching. And if you are, here we go. Okay, I have a little bit of an announcement to make with the shop. Not big, but super excited about it. I'm going to start announcing it starting here and then on Instagram and the newsletter and kind of slowly introduce it. But we are bringing a new base into the shop. It is a 100% superwash BFL 3-ply yarn, and it is going to be the new Audrey base. So everything on Ravelry that already has Audrey on it, I'm going to do like Audrey 1, like the old penny base. And so I knit up a little swatch of it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is in the God Killer colorway, which is my Wonder Woman colorway, and it is just a gorgeous round 3-ply fingering weight yarn. It's got a little bit of a halo going. I don't know if you can see that. Move my head out of the way. Right there. It is a very rustic yarn. I haven't blocked it yet, but it's going to make such nice socks and garments, and I'm so excited for it. It is going to be released February 1st, so I'm going to be kind of sneak peeking it and that sort of thing over the next couple weeks to kind of get everybody as excited as I am. I'm super excited to say that Laura Beth Knits has designed a sock pattern in this base. So they are going to release around the same time her sock pattern. The Pisces sock will be coming out February 17th, just in time for the start of the Pisces. She's doing a basically a year-long collection of sock releases, all doing with the zodiac. So she's starting off with Pisces, which is what I am, so it's perfect. And she used the new Audrey base in Towers Over the Thames colorway. I'm gonna put up a picture here of the socks, and I'm so excited. I'm going to do a giant update with Towers of the Thames in this base for February the 1st to release it. I'm so excited. And I'm going to knit the socks in this yarn. And I'm just so happy I did really like the high twist BFL, but it just wasn't calling to my heart like I wanted it to. And this is just, it's taking the colors the way I pictured the other base did, and it's just filling the sheepy need. So this will be joining the Once Upon a Corgi family as our new Audrey base this February. There's already dog hair in it. Okay, now for the shop update this week. Our shop update this week will be tomorrow, Thursday, December 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to have a little bit of yarn in there. We are going to have some Narnia on Tesla and Isaac DK. Isaac DK is our Polworth Silk DK weight. It is a non-superwash yarn, and I love it. And Tesla is back in stock finally. It is a BFL Silk Cashmere blend, and I love it, and I've missed it terribly, but it is just, it's getting super blown out right now. I want to say, like, this is a true color. So that will be in the shop. We will have very limited No Sleep Till Rhinebeck going up. I dyed a little bit up for Vogue Knitting Live and then kept some aside just in case you guys wanted some. And then the last one that's not romantic, Ginger, Isaac, Penny, and Cecil. Cecil is our Aran weight base, and I just really love the way it turned out. Sometimes it takes the speckles really well, and then sometimes it like watercolors out. Because Valentine's Day is coming up, and as some of you know who have been watching the podcast for a while, I don't do Valentine's Day. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It's not a good time of year for me. Not my favorite. So instead of doing traditional Valentine's Day or anti-Valentine's Day, however you want to look at it, colorways, We did a romantic notion set for this week. We did My Dear Abigail, which is a colorway I came up with when my friend Abigail got engaged and picked her wedding colors. So this will be on Isaac DK, Penny, Ginger, Cecil, and Isaac. So that is Isaac DK and Penny, and then we have it here on Cecil and Isaac. Being the super romantic that I am, I dyed up our favorite couple of all times, Khal Drogo and Khaleesi. So we have Moon of My Life and My Sun and Stars. Ooh, super blown out. Ta-da! Super speckly, super delicious together. I love them. And we will also have Warm and Cozy. And we will be having sweater quantities of all of these guys, minus No Sleep Till Rhinebeck. And this, on the Aran weight base, it's taking everything in my body not to steal it. Look at it. I also really love it on the Stellina base because the sparkles pick up and turn like a dark brassy red. I love it. It's blowing everything out terribly, but that's fine. So we will have those in the shop, which I think match everything quite nicely. Super contrast. Even this. So those will be in the shop, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, Thursday. And just a giant thank you to everybody who supports the shop and even just stops by, buys stuff, keeps coming back and buying things during the updates. It just makes my heart melt. All the warm and fuzzies. So with that, because I did life stuff at the beginning and my mouth is starting to get a little bit sore, we are going to close the podcast out here. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. And until then, happy crafting. Bye.